Sonam Wangchuk was born in a tiny Ladakhi village in 1966. He grew up learning the basics from his mother until the age of 9, and then was sent out to boarding school in Srinagar, where his Ladakhi accent irritated the teachers there, the faculty, and they dismissed him as a stupid child. Unable to take this humiliation, the young Wangchuk ran away to Delhi to find a safer and a fair way for education, to learn, to study. A bold act that ignited the lifelong fight in him to reform education. After graduating in engineering, Wangchuk straight away started to build schools. Working on them, he built great infrastructure for young students to learn and get reformed in. In 1998, he co-founded SECMOL to rescue Ladakhi schools. He formed village education committees, retrained teachers to teach in Ladakhi culture, and even rewrote textbooks to be locally relevant. For the students who flunked exams, he created an alternative boarding school where failure was the only admission ticket. There, Wangchuk and the students together designed and built the very school buildings that had thick mud walls and sun spaces that trapped solar heat, keeping the rooms comfortable in the harsh Himalayan winters. This hands-on, head, heart, and hands approach dramatically improved the school systems forever and brought brilliant results. Within a few years, Ladakh's exam passing rate jumped from mere 5 to 7% to an astonishing 70%. Then in 1994, he helped launch Operation New Hope, a collaboration of communities, government, and civil societies, which trained hundreds of teachers in child safety and child-friendly methods, and completely decentralized school management. For these efforts alone, Wangchuk was awarded with the highest honors, including the Asia-wide Ramon Magsaysay Award in 2008. In the 2010s, Wangchuk turned his problem-solving to Ladakh's water crisis. He conceived the Ice Stupas in the dead night at sub-zero temperatures. Here, water is sprayed into skeletal towers, so it freezes into huge sculptures of ice, like an ice cone. These ice stupas, sometimes 20 feet tall, melt slowly as spring arrives, supplying irrigation water when glacial streams have dried up. The Ice Stupa project drew in international fascination as a hallmark to climate innovation. Wangchuk also sought to practice what he preached about simplicity and sustainability. He said, "Live simply so we can simply live." That became his motto. Unlike many innovators who grow wealthy, Wangchuk famously avoided luxury. He urges success is not measured in money, but in how many lives are touched. Now, as his fame grew, so did Wangchuk's willingness to challenge political power for Ladakh's sake. When India abrogated Article 370 in 2019, Ladakh was made a union territory, and also without an elected legislature. Initially hopeful for more development, Wangchuk soon realized Ladakh would lose its special protection. And the locals say, he warned that without safeguards, outside interests, and unchecked growth, it could dilute Ladakh's fragile culture. Now in protests, Wangchuk repeatedly fasted and led campaigns for Sikh schedule status, and also UT with legislature, constitutional measures to protect tribal and ecological rights. He had a 21-day hunger strike in March 2024 and another 35 days starting September 10, 2025. He was joined by thousands of youth. During 2023's Delhi Chalo March from Leh to New Delhi, he walked for weeks demanding statehood, sidelining personal comfort for the public cause. He even pointed an accusing finger towards Ladakhi officials, alleging systematic corruption. In September 2025, he publicly stated that CBI probe had been opened into an administrative malpractices dating back to the formation of the UT. Either way, Wangchuk's argument proves his worst fears, that local governance was being captured by a new elite. Meanwhile, Ladakh's administration struck back. The land lease for Wangchuk's Himalayan Institute of Alternative Ladakh was cancelled, a move critics called a punitive, politically motivated attack on a flagship local NGO. The Ministry of Home Affairs even accused SECMOL of illegal foreign funding. Its FCRA approval was also revoked. Wangchuk calls these actions Banana Republic tactics, insisting the charges are baseless and aimed at silencing him. He replied to accusations of FCRA violations by noting he had not taken clearances under the FCRA. In 3 instances, they thought it was foreign contribution, merely because he changed fees for his training workshop abroad. Wangchuk's activism turned dangerous in late September 2025. What had been a peaceful protest in Leh escalated. Protesters clashed with police, officers were set on fire, and tragically 4 people, including a former army soldier, were killed. The next day, on September 26, the authorities arrested Sonam Wangchuk under the stringent National Security Act. He was flown to Jodhpur Central Jail in Rajasthan. The government accused him of provoking the unrest. Officials claim his 35-day hunger strike and speeches misled youth into violence. Wangchuk's supporters completely deny this narrative. In the court papers, his wife Gitanjali emphasized that he broke his fast before the protest turned violent, and that Wangchuk publicly condemned the bloodshed as the saddest day of their movement. Nonetheless, by decree of the NSA, he remains in jail without trial. Key movement bodies like the Leh Apex Body and the Kargil Democratic Alliance have demanded Wangchuk's unconditional release, echoing the contentions that authorities are using heavy-handed measures to suppress Ladakh's demands. As of today, Sonam Wangchuk sits in Jodhpur Central Jail. The Supreme Court of India is considering a petition by his wife challenging the legality of his detention. She urges his arrest was not based on genuine public order concern, but a calculated attempt to silence Wangchuk's right to dissent. Hearing on the habeas corpus petition has been adjourned several times now. From behind bars, Wangchuk sent messages underscoring his resolve. He's ready to remain in jail until the people's demands are met, painting himself as a determined, non-violent leader willing to sacrifice his freedom for Ladakh's future. His arrest and the charges against him have sparked a heated debate across India. Supporters hail him as a modern-day Gandhian and the conscience of Ladakh, while critics brand him as an outsider agitator. Regardless of the politics, one thing stands out. Sonam Wangchuk's journey is extraordinary. He could have become a wealthy engineer, but instead chose a life of stark simplicity, innovating with ice and sun instead of the stock prices. He lived modestly, carrying his own bottles and turning down luxury. He used to say that he wants to be poor with an untouched environment, not rich at the cost of Ladakh. This quiet renunciation and fearless dedication makes his story deeply moving. Now in the end, Sonam Wangchuk's legacy may be bigger than any campus or any ice mount. He was a person of great wealth of mind. He knew how to work with kids. He knew how to work with engineers. He was an engineer himself. He knew how to work things. He had a practical mind. He's one of the best people and innovators and entrepreneurs that our country has emerged in the last few decades. Losing one of our precious people like that is heartbreaking. Whether you hate him or you love him, you gotta be inspired by him. And after all of this, there's only one hope. The Ladakhi climate warrior lives on and will be free one day to continue his life mission.